Hey everyone, so now that a lot of the CW superhero shows are done for this current season, I thought it'd be fun to look back at these past seasons and give my thoughts on them. So today we're actually going to start with Arrow Season 6. Now, I have been a fan of Arrow since the first season. I caught it on Netflix and really, really enjoyed it. And that was like a month before I think Season 2 started, so I got right into that show. And I can totally understand why people don't like Arrow. I have a lot of the same problems that those people have. And this season has a lot of those same problems. I can just, I guess, kind of, they do annoy me, but I can live with them, I guess. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of forced drama. They use characters inconsistently. Yeah, there's a lot of that. So, season 6. So, season 6 follows probably what was one of the best seasons. I mean, season 4 was a total dumpster fire with like one or two good episodes in there, but mostly it was just really poorly handled. Not a good season at all. And then season 5 came along and we had a great villain. And an overall great season which led up to a fantastic finale which left all of the characters' lives hanging in the balance. We didn't know who was going to live, who was going to die. It was really exciting coming into season 6. And then with the first episode, Fallout, they blew it. They really, really blew it. They could have changed the status quo up on the show, brought in some fresh blood, give it a new fresh take, but no. The only characters that died were basically insignificant characters, and then Thea. Oh no, she's in a coma, but they showed her lying in the coma in the hospital bed, so you know, the actress isn't going to film that unless she's going to come back. So, you know, that was only an issue until it wasn't. And then you had Diggle, who had shrapnel and nerve damage because of that. And that was a big plot point until it was miraculously solved with technology, and then it wasn't. And by the way, if that sounds familiar, because they already did that plot point in season 4 with Felicity getting paralyzed, and then she got a little chip implant, and now she's perfectly fine. But they can always fall back on that with an EMP blast, and she's paralyzed again. Oh, that's great. But it's just like they wanted to take these characters into a certain direction, and then just change it all right back to how they were before. They don't want to have significant changes for the characters. And I understand it's hard when you have these characters over a long period of time. You don't want to change too much, but it does become pretty annoying when they just miraculously fix things like that. And yeah, so basically everybody survived except for oh god, I can't even remember her name. William's mother dies, but I mean, she's an insignificant character, irrelevant character. So the only thing that really changed for this season is that now Oliver is the mayor, still trying to be Green Arrow, and raising his son. And while there was some good drama there with him deciding maybe I shouldn't be Green Arrow anymore and focus on being, you know, the mayor and a good father, and you know, I like that. A lot of the other stuff this season was just painfully slow. You know, the villain, Caden James, terrible. Terrible. You know, we went from a really cool villain with Prometheus to a really good computer hacker. Yay. And then of course they had to have them all team up. All these B and C list villains team up together. I guess they were trying to do like a Legends of Tomorrow, Legion of Doom type thing, but nobody cares about those villains. So, you know, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, I guess that's cool. You know, wasn't excited at all about that. And then, of course, they did have the kind of civil war between Team Arrow, which was interesting, but again, I think there was some contrivances in the plot, and it went back to that whole Felicity thing. It was like, he was like, you didn't trust me, and then I'm gonna do something where I don't trust you to tell you the truth and become a hypocrite. So yeah, I showed you. So I mean, you had team members hiding things behind the other team members' backs, and they spy on them, find out that they were lying, and they're like, I can't believe you spied on me. It's like, well, you were lying in the first place, so But I mean, there were some cool elements with the Civil War stuff, but it wasn't handled all that great in my opinion. And then you had a pretty decent plot twist with Ricardo Diaz becoming the main villain, killing off Caden James. So I liked that, and he was actually a pretty good villain. And then the stuff that they did with Oliver and Diggle, and kind of just splitting up, original Team Arrow and just having Oliver go out on his own as Green Arrow. I thought that was really good, and like towards the end, the show really did pick up steam and got a lot better, and the finale was pretty good, honestly. But the overall problem this season was that it took way too long. There was such a slow burn, and it's like, we're gonna do this, which leads to this and this and this, but the problem is that the pacing of it was just super slow, and the plot points that they had weren't all that interesting. They did have some pretty good episodes early on with Slade, and I guess that was probably a farewell to Slade. I don't think they're going to be bringing Slade back to Arrow, which is unfortunate, but I did like that they kind of became friends again after what happened in season 2. Yeah, and leading into season 7, it's certainly going to be interesting now that Oliver is, in maximum security, a supermax prison. So that is going to be interesting, and I guess he's going to have a lot of issues in there. And I really hope they don't pull a Flash thing and just have him, in prison for like 3 or 4 episodes, and then he's out and everything's fine again. They really need to do a good story with that. But overall, I thought season 6 was definitely better than season 4, which is the worst season of the entire series. But it was a real mixed bag. It had some interesting plot developments and interesting twists and turns, but it was so slow with them. It dragged it out so long that when it got to then, I didn't really care all that much. And I think it took too long for the show to actually get good this season. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think about Arrow down in the comments below. And as always, like the video, share it, and subscribe. Till next time.